If you're entering date and time information into an Excel worksheet, it's probably best with times to use the slash or possibly the hyphen. They both work the same way. And depending upon your settings, you're likely to get an entry like this, for example. If it's March 4th, 3/4/2012, simply put in the 12. When you press enter, you're likely to see a 4-digit year. For some users, they enter the current date throughout the course of a day frequently, and some users even the current time. You can enter this information very quickly with a couple of great keystroke shortcuts. Suppose you want to put the current date in cell B2. As I'm recording this in mid-July of 2010, Control semicolon, that's the current date. That's it. This is also handy. You sometimes will need to put in the current date or the current time in such a way that the entry will constantly change and update as you open and close the file. In other words, you always want it to be accurate. The method for entering a dynamic date is to use the function called today, equal TODAY, no reason to capitalize it, left parenthesis, and enter. Now it's accurate at the moment at the time of this recording. However, if this file is saved and opened tomorrow, the next day, on each occasion, the date will be different. When you're trying to enter more than one date or time in Excel, there are a lot of built-in shortcuts that you might not be aware of. They often fall under the heading of autofill. A lot of you may know that a given month like January, or any month you can start with, if you drag from the lower right-hand corner of a cell containing one of the monthly names, you'll get month after month after month. If you drag downward or rightward, this moves ahead in time. A common need when working with date data, particularly when it comes to hire dates, birth dates, anniversary dates, is to come up with a quick way to calculate the amount of time elapsed between, for example, a hire date and today's date, or a birth date and today's date. In column F are various hire dates in this list of some 700 names, and in column G is a function that is not very well documented in Excel. It's called dateDiff. And you'll notice here that you don't see any prompting as to what the arguments of it are. But this function does wonders in a lot of different situations. For example, here we want to know how long this person has been here. Now, I'm recording this in mid-July of 2010. DateDiff begins with a starting date. In this case, it's July 5th of 2003. I'm using today's date here as a